Have you ever stopped to think that true wealth might lie in the opposite of what society teaches us? In this video, you will discover how the philosophy of modesty can transform your perspective on what it truly means to be wealthy. We will explore the paradox of wealth, why many who seem to have everything still feel empty, and how those who live simply can achieve a life of peace and inner satisfaction. By understanding this concept, you will learn to prioritize what truly matters, freeing yourself from the pressure to appear successful and instead fostering a deep sense of purpose and freedom. Imagine having more tranquility, less financial stress, and finally feeling in control of your life. Stay with me until the end of this video to discover how true wealth is not found in material possessions, but in the way you choose to live. Simplicity as a philosophical virtue. Simplicity has always been regarded as a fundamental virtue in various philosophical schools. Since ancient times, great thinkers have advocated the idea that true happiness and contentment do not depend on material wealth, but rather on a simple and balanced life. Socrates, for instance, stated, "The richest man is he who is content with the least." For him, true contentment lies not in possessions but in the ability to be satisfied with little, stepping away from the constant quest for more. Seneca, a proponent of Stoicism, reinforced this idea by advocating for a life free of excess and the pursuit of inner tranquility. For Stoics, moderation and detachment are essential for achieving peace of mind. In this context, simplicity is viewed not as a limitation, but as a path to true freedom. Similarly, in the Chinese philosophy of Laozi, we find the assertion that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. For him, a simple life brings not only balance but also wisdom. Modesty allows a person to get closer to the essence of things, rather than getting lost in the complexities and distractions of the material world. These thinkers, each in their own way, argue that simplicity is not a sign of poverty, but rather a higher form of sophistication and inner wealth. Warren Buffett and spiritual financial wisdom. Warren Buffett, considered one of the most successful investors of all time, is also a living example of how simplicity and modesty can go hand in hand with true wealth. Despite his vast fortune, Buffett is known for his modest lifestyle. He has lived in the same house since 1958, a simple home in Omaha, Nebraska, far from the glamour and ostentation one might expect of someone in his position. Buffett also avoids unnecessary luxuries, dresses simply, and has often expressed the value of maintaining a frugal life. For Buffett, the philosophy of investing in what matters extends far beyond finances. He advocates for long-term investment, not just in monetary terms, but also in personal and spiritual life. Rather than focusing on status or immediate gratification, Buffett prioritizes consistent and sustainable growth, whether in business or personal relationships. One of the most notable examples of his view on wealth is his commitment to the Giving Pledge, an initiative where he and other billionaires pledged to donate the majority of their fortunes to philanthropic causes. This gesture clearly demonstrates that Buffett sees true wealth not as something to be hoarded for oneself, but as a tool to make a difference in the world. Buffett's discreet lifestyle reflects the spiritual wisdom that true wealth is not about what we possess, but about the impact we make and how we choose to live. By maintaining a simple and essential-focused lifestyle, Buffett exemplifies the power of modesty and the freedom it brings. The impact of social media. The cult of ostentation. With the advent of social media, the culture of ostentation has intensified, creating a society where appearing rich has become almost as important as being rich. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are filled with images and videos of people showcasing seemingly luxurious lifestyles, creating the illusion of success and happiness based on external appearances. This phenomenon has led many to believe that wealth equals happiness and that one must display their possessions to be valued. However, behind these images, there often lies a spiritual void. The constant search for validation through likes, followers, and positive comments generates a temporary sense of satisfaction, but also creates an endless cycle of comparison and insecurity. People end up measuring their worth by the number of interactions online, while true satisfaction, rooted in self-awareness and inner peace, becomes increasingly distant. This culture of ostentation creates a disconnection between being and appearing. Instead of focusing on inner enrichment and personal development, many are preoccupied with the image they project to others. This leads to profound dissatisfaction, as external validation is never enough to fill the internal void. In light of this, an essential question arises: what is more important? Being seen as successful or being truly rich in spirit, living a balanced and happy life? Social media forces us to reevaluate our values and reminds us of the importance of nurturing what is inside, rather than worrying so much about what is outside. The philosophy of minimalism and material detachment. Minimalism is a philosophy of life that has been gaining more followers around the world, precisely because it offers an alternative to rampant consumerism and the relentless pursuit of more possessions. Based on the idea that less is more, minimalism promotes material detachment, suggesting that happiness and well-being do not depend on the quantity of things we own, but on the quality of life we choose to cultivate. The minimalist philosophy is not just a strategy for saving money. It is also a spiritual approach. By simplifying life, we eliminate distractions that consume time and energy, allowing us to focus on what truly matters: meaningful experiences, authentic relationships, and personal development. In this way, minimalism aligns with the idea that accumulating possessions does not bring lasting happiness. Instead, it can trap us in a cycle of anxiety and dissatisfaction. The positive impact of material detachment is evident. Fewer possessions mean fewer worries, less stress, and more freedom to pursue what truly enriches the soul. Minimalism also helps us rediscover the value of experiences and knowledge, rather than seeking satisfaction in physical objects. Warren Buffett, although he doesn't identify as a minimalist, exemplifies this philosophy in his life. He focuses on maintaining a simple and uncomplicated routine, prioritizing what truly matters to him: his long-term investments, his work, and his contributions to society. This lifestyle reflects his spiritual wisdom and his belief that true wealth comes from what cannot be bought: time, freedom, and the peace of mind that comes with detachment. The dangers of ostentation. The illusion of happiness. Living a life centered on ostentation can create a false sense of security and well-being. Many believe that by accumulating wealth and displaying symbols of status, they will achieve complete happiness. However, this constant pursuit of having can mask a much darker reality. Ostentation, instead of filling an inner void, often intensifies it, as the focus remains on what is external and fleeting. The quest for more money, more status, more validation, can generate a cycle of dissatisfaction. With each new acquisition or achievement, the feeling of accomplishment is short-lived, quickly replaced by the need to attain something greater. This dynamic breeds anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and ultimately, an imbalanced and unrestful life. Moreover, from a spiritual perspective, ostentation is a dangerous trap. The Buddhist concept of impermanence reminds us that material possessions are transient and cannot bring lasting happiness. Everything external, such as belongings and social status, is subject to change and loss. Betting one's happiness on something so unstable is a risk that many do not recognize until it's too late. True happiness, in contrast, lies in being, not having. When we detach from the need to appear wealthy or successful in the eyes of others, we create space for a more authentic life, focused on what truly brings us inner satisfaction. Spiritual investment. The true path to wealth. Just as we invest in financial assets to secure a safe future, it is equally important to invest in our spiritual and personal growth. Unlike material investments, this kind of investment does not lose value over time. Instead, it strengthens the mind, body, and soul, providing an internal wealth that no economic crisis can shake. Investing in oneself involves cultivating skills, expanding knowledge, and nurturing mental health. Practices such as meditation, self-awareness, and gratitude are powerful tools that help build a solid foundation of inner peace and emotional balance. The return on this investment is unparalleled, offering a fuller, more meaningful life, along with greater resilience in the face of life's challenges. Warren Buffett, in addition to investing in companies, is also a model of someone who invests in his personal growth and the well-being of others. His commitment to the Giving Pledge, in which he promises to donate the majority of his fortune, demonstrates that he sees true wealth not in accumulation but in giving. Through this act of generosity, Buffett reaffirms that the most valuable wealth is that which we share, benefiting society as a whole. Spiritual investment not only enriches us internally but also allows us to view life in a broader and deeper way. While material investments yield monetary returns or goods, spiritual investments bring something far more precious: peace, self-satisfaction, and a sense of purpose. In the end, this is what truly defines real wealth. The true freedom of modesty. Throughout this journey, we have seen how modesty and simplicity offer a path to true freedom and wealth. True prosperity is not measured by the possessions or status we accumulate, but by inner peace, balance, and detachment from what is fleeting. Modesty, when understood as a philosophy of life, liberates us from the constant pressure to appear a certain way to others and allows us to focus on what really matters: our personal and spiritual growth. Warren Buffett, with his simple life and long-term vision, teaches us that true wealth lies in the value we place on intangible things: time, freedom, and the ability to make a difference in the world. He succinctly summarizes this idea with the phrase, "If you are content with what you have, you will always be rich." Now, here's an invitation for personal reflection. What truly brings wealth to your life? By reducing our attachment to the material and adopting a more modest stance, we gain greater freedom to live fully, authentically, and in peace.